Hey everybody, welcome back to Doc G's Reloading. Today I'm going to talk about a little piece of replacement hardware I put on my little PS90 here. The funny thing is now that 5.7 cartridge is becoming so popular, my local gun shop guys say that they can't keep these things in stock. They keep flying off the shelves because they're the original 5.7 cartridge, designed. They come with the 16-inch barrel. And you can even swap out that 16-inch barrel so you can put a suppressor on it if you wanted to without having to get an SBR tax stamp like I did. But yeah, a lot of people are getting the short barrel tax stamp along with it and just swapping the barrels out. But yeah, this is 5.7 by 28 is becoming such a popular caliber. And everybody needs to remember, this is really not a rifle. This was designed to replace a 9mm handgun for troops in the convoy troops and non-combat troops, people who would not really be shooting at the enemy back in the 1990s. And with the ball ammo that was specifically designed for this would defeat body armor at the time out to 200 meters or out to 100 meters. So that's what this is designed for. This is basically designed for a replacement to the 9mm handgun. So people want to put optics and all this stuff on here. I mean, give me a break. It's basically a handgun. But anyway, I shot this in my local match as a carbine, and oh my God, it was so fun. It was just absolutely amazing, absolutely flawless. Not a single misfeed. I was using Fiocchi ammunition, which is now 50 cents a piece. I'm finding, and even dropping lower in price down to sometimes 40 or 30 cents a piece. So cheaper than 223 ammo. And I shot this, and we were shooting out to 75 yards steel, and it shoots so flat. It was just wonderful. But the problem was you had to put this in a barrel when you were done, and I couldn't reach far enough down into the barrel to set it down there because it's so tiny. But everybody thought this was so cool. So anyway, what I want to talk about today is the thing I replaced on here. I replaced these little nubbins. So this is what it comes with, these little nubbin. I call them nubbins. They're these little tiny charging handles that are here. Okay, get my hand out of the way there. But basically, they were right here in place of this. So for Titan Tactical Design, and I'll put a link to their website in the description of this. But basically, what was happening was, and this gun's clear. I just have I have my magazine in here with my dummy rounds, and I have a dummy round in there. So I have a little dummy round in there that'll just ejects down and out. So I just keep dummy rounds in it when I have it out of the case. But anyway, safe, weapon is safe, and all about safety. What was happening was, I have this really cool sling mount on here that allows you to mount front and back, and I didn't want to have to take this off at the shoot, so unfortunately I had these nubbins on, and every time I go to rack this thing, my knuckle would hit this, and I wash my hands 5,000 times a day because every time I go in and out of a patient's room I got to wash my hands, so my skin is not exactly calloused. And just racking it and rubbing against this, I rubbed a nice little bleeder in my finger there. So I was like, oh man, I got to get rid of these little tiny nubbins. And these things are so tiny. I mean, there's almost no way anybody with a gigantic meat hook like mine, and I mean, if you got smaller hands, fine. I mean, these might be good, but there was no way I was going to be able to rack this without getting my finger hit, especially on the side where I normally rack, which is the left side. So what you do is for this, you just take a little punch, and what I did is I just laid the gun on its side, and I took a little punch like this, and a little hammer, and then you just put the punch back here and just tap it off. That's all you gotta do. Just a couple of swift taps and it slides right off. The only thing that's holding it, there's a little indentation here, detent that comes out that fits into this hole here, and that's what kind of holds it on. Because you're always pulling it to the back and it doesn't cycle, so it's never going to fall off. So just a little tap and it slid right off. And then these mount on with a really cool, they slide over the end of the charging system there, and then they just tighten down with an Allen key. Now that's a 2.5 millimeter Allen key, so it's metric. I think they're sticking with metric because, you know, this is a European gun, so the fasteners on this are metric, so I think that's maybe why they stuck with metric. But anyway, you can get them for one side, just buy one of them, or you can get them for both sides. Obviously, I got them for both sides. It's no big deal. My case still closes just fine, so that's not a big deal. Here on this side here, you can see, I'll just kind of give you a little close up there so you can kind of see in the front there, and it wraps all the way around. And I'll give you this here so I can get you there. So in the back there, you can kind of see, I can't get too close to the camera, but anyway, it just slides in there and then locks down with Allen key head. So, you know, the little Allen key right there. Put a little Loctite. They recommend putting a little Loctite, blue Loctite on that. So I blue Loctited them before I screwed them in. So when I got it, I unscrewed that all the way, put a little blue Loctite on, screwed it back in, and then slid it on here and tightened it down. And it's just so nice. I mean, it's, now I know they make other ones. They make some that fit over these. They make some made by Man Cave, but all of that stuff is out of stock everywhere, so I couldn't find it. And there are some that have a spring-loaded thing where you grab onto it and it's spring-loaded and it comes out, but I don't want to have an extra spring that's going to break, because then if it breaks, it's going to flop all over the place. I just want something that it gives me a good grip on it right off the bat, and I don't have to worry about grabbing something and activating a spring or pulling back against the spring to open it up if it's flat up against there. So really, this was one of the best designs I found. And they come in colors too, so if you want red or blue or olive drab green or black or speckled black, they got a whole bunch of different color schemes you can get, which is really neat. But it just makes it so much easier, you know. And even you know, even with someone with smaller hands or even a weaker upper body, could grab this and pull back on it easily and charge this gun much more easily than with these. So it just gives you more leverage, and it gets my hand out of the way, so I'm not hitting this anymore. So this is, I'm far enough out now that I pass right by it, and it's not a problem. And then I got, you know, you can only get them for one side if you want, but I got them for both sides just in case I do need to use the other side. And it just pushes the foam down in my case. You know, the foam just compresses right there, and I just set it on its side, and it works just fine, fits in the same case. So just a really unique charging handle. And since these guns are getting so popular now, flying off the shelves because of the popularity of the 5.7 cartridge, I just wanted to do a video on this to show these charging handles. And these are readily available, reasonably priced, well worth every penny. Titan Tactical Design really did a great job on these. And like I said, it's a non-reciprocating charging handle anyway, so you're just pulling back against it. But they still lock down firmly with that Allen key head, and they're aluminum, so they really don't add any weight to it. But I just wanted to cover that today, because like I said, this is getting to be a very popular gun now because of the 5.7 cartridge. So, all right, thanks again for watching Doc G's Reloading, and let me know if you have any questions.